Hey everyone, I'm Wa.
And I'm Chris, and welcome to DocuSweeties.
We're two longtime friends who discuss the riveting and sometimes trashy world of reality TV and docuseries.
Yes, but through our own lens, honey, which is, I mean, shattered by, a very bitter soul or perhaps maybe just like really, really acidic, just like not alkaline. We have not been drinking the essence yet, but at the end of the day, hopefully mildly sweet. Hi.
Hi, we're talking Love During Lockup, Season 6, Episode 4. You're the inmate. Um,
I love that. She hates him so much.
also, I did like the first thing you said. You said like opening up our souls with like acidity. I'm not sure what you said, but the first thing I had it in my brain and it went away. So it was good. Thanks. Um, this
Mhm.
episode was forgettable. I'm just gonna say that. Did I even take notes? Who knows?
You
Like,
actually did, and I just realized I didn't take notes. But then I'm so happy you did, and you're I'm gonna but I just watched the episode. So yes, honey, season 6, episode 4. You are the inmate. Yeah. So it feels like
mhm.
the first. I know the first one starts with Brittany and Brittany spelled the French way or one of the French ways. I don't know. God bless, and whoever
Oh
that
yeah,
guy is, bad
and the
dad,
cop. Yeah. I don't know
bad
his
dad.
name, but yeah, bad
I
dad.
know, bad
Okay.
dad.
Okay, so in this picture, if you're watching on Patreon, it's the second to the first. It's
What?
Savannah,
I'm.
then a guy, then Renika. So that guy is who we're talking about.
Yeah,
Great.
yeah, yeah. I mean, his own ex, like his own ex-wife, like can't remember his name. Truly, it's
Yeah.
not because of the drugs. But basically, we pick up and he's driving, honey, and he obviously the last time we picked up with, or last episode was that his daughters just blew up his spot on the phone when he tried to introduce them to his like prison boo by being like, oh, he's like the shittiest dad, like he abandoned us or whatever. And this is after this man has told Brittany, like, yeah, their mom was like trash shitty, honey, and just an addict trash shitty. So I raised those girls. No, let me just tell you, I was one of the baddest cops in the game. I was on the beat. I scored so many arrests. Like I was top cop on the force, honey. Everyone knew my name. And so, but then I couldn't, just like be the baddest cop in the game because I had them girls. So I had to give up that life, that life that gave me so much pension money. Why would you give it up? And then just like became a truck driver and I gave it all up for them. And then now Brittany hears they hate him that he would just leave. And then yeah, it's so funny because then he's like, well, just kidding. Yeah, I would leave for days at a time. And it's like, what were you doing? Like, I can only imagine hookers, which is fine, but like hookers, hooker retreats,
Oh, hooker conventions.
maybe in Thailand.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah, exactly what he was doing. So
Go ahead.
he
Yeah.
I definitely like is feeling like his girls did blow up his spot because Brittany spelled the French way is so upset with him because she is on the path of recovery and she does not need any dead weight or deadbeat fathers in her way, So she then calls him and is like, hey, so I tried to make it so that you couldn't come and see me without my daughter, but I couldn't do it. So I guess you can still come. And he's like, well, I'm driving in the rain right now, trying to get back to the house, trying to figure out if you want me to be there. And she's like, I guess you can be there because I can't. But don't bring any of your like bad daddy shit to my meet and greet with me and your daughter. I want her to know and think that you're the greatest guy so that she believes that after years of me not making good choices, that I am making a good choice by now being with an ex-cop turn truck driver. So, okay.
I don't understand a bunch of things about this. First of all, how old is Gracie? Second thing is, I don't understand why he has to go. Like, so are you like, because what if two people make a reservation to see an inmate and one person then just suddenly that day can't go, they're sick or dangerous, whatever, car breaks down, you're telling me the other person just waits there and is like turned away, like, just kidding, party at 2 and you can't get seated unless your other person's here. Like, I don't understand, what? And unless he's what, the guardian of a Gracie that is a 13-year-old that happens to be signed up to go with him into a prison, which in that case, the first time that you're going to have your daughter be there and meet your person is he's a guardian of. There's no other sister, no other person to bring your daughter, which all of this is I mean, what? Yeah, I'm just trying to like deep dive into understanding truly what this is. Unless, because the other side of it is that it's like, whatever, a stupid excuse to have the story go on and it's like producer fare. Because it seems weird.
Yeah, no, I definitely think that part of your explanation was correct. I think that she's a minor, and when they made the reservations, I guess they do like a background check or maybe something. And so maybe because that other person is, I don't know, not part of the process. They couldn't do it. I mean, going to see people in prison is like the worst experience for those who are not in prison. They treat you terribly. I mean, like it is very, very weird. I haven't been, but I have talked to folks who have gone. And yeah, they're definitely like, it sucks, especially, you know, you're just like, I'm a regular person, stop treating me like I'm a criminal. Yeah, so then we have a confessional where he says that he's gonna be like uncooked steak in the lion's den. And we're like, do not compare yourself to Daniel, first of all. First of all, this biblical reference is like not correct for you. And so he's excited to go see her, but the truth is that, you know, he's a terrible guitar player and singer. That is the truth. We get this like song that he's written for her, and this man has tried his hardest. He just doesn't have it in him.
He's so interesting. The tats are interesting. Like who he wants to be is interesting, but he's so weirdly cuckoldy, submissive-y, kind of like, oh, I can just still show up and because your kid needs me to be there. Okay, you know, he just like has a pattern of just being with like women who are, you know, like better than he thinks that are better than him, but are also addicts, and so like they need him for some reason. It's just his whole vibe is just a desperate kind of clown, you know.
A desperate clown. What a good sting.
Okay,
let's move on to the next one, which is Letitia and Keith. And Letitia is fourth in case you guys are wondering. And Keith, that's not what he looks like now. He has full dreads. He has 10-year-old dreads. So she is, I don't know what she's doing, but she had to pack to see her husband. She's one of those people who like weaponize their marriage. There are women out there who fully feel whole and relieved and happy that they are married and that they found somebody, and they just find single folk and just terrorize them with their marriage. And she is terrorizing all of the United States. She's like walking around her home and she's like, I got to pack to see my husband. Like, we know he's your husband. We know that. And you're so proud of him, which, okay, good for you, but nobody wants him.
Right.
We don't.
Right.
Nobody is like, oh my God, I wonder if he's somebody's husband. No, we're not.
Yeah, she really, yes, she comes hard with this, like, my husband's a king thing. And from every moment I've experienced this man, like, I don't know, you know, like he seems, I'm not saying that, you know, I'm not saying he's a bad guy, but, you know, I'm just saying like I don't know, the way he talks and his, like, his understanding of what he can do in an accounting firm, like, you know, all of it just seems like, I don't know, it's bananas. I don't know how she's in charge of any money, but she definitely also, yeah, you're right. She feels like someone who is like, she can't keep a man, you know, like how whether a woman's ability to have a man and or not have a man, any man then fills that role because he is in quote, a man, makes it so that she is valuable.
Yep.
And so like she judges other women in comparison. She's probably someone who gets very competitive with women and has in the past. I'm sure that she's tried to, you know, like try to steal the women's, you know, or been thinking that other women are trying to steal her man. You know, there's all of that kind of stuff that comes with that because it's so important for her to have one, you know, and it's unfortunate because for me, I think that she's quite fabulous besides that. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying her style is 100% mine, but doesn't she portray someone who like has a lot of power and has a lot of reason to feel powerful? And so this is annoying.
Yeah. In fact, I do feel like you I forgot what I was going to say. I didn't forget what I was going to say, but like I had a comment. You were like, yeah, not that I like her style. And I was going to be like, no, you do like her style, but I couldn't figure out a way to make it kind of funny. And
I mean, wait, do you think I like her? I mean, do you think that I'm like do you think that I'm like, I'm going to wear all her outfits?
Oh no, I was making a joke because you made a statement about not liking, you're like, yeah, she has fabulous clothes, not that I would like them. So I was trying to do something onto that and I couldn't. And then so that's what happened in my life. Thank you.
I want to say this about her style. I noticed that I clocked all of these like shoes that she has like the big sizes on them. And I was like, some are 9.5, some are 10s. And I was like, oh, honey, she is getting those bargain shoes from like, the Steve Madden bargain shoes from like, Marshalls. She's going
Yeah.
there. She's checking the two sizes, 9.5 and 10. She can work between them.
Yeah, just get a 10 girl. It's more comfortable. Okay, the next thing that is nice is her closet. Listen, let me tell you, I love a woman who doesn't have the money to shop in the way that she wants to shop. So she'll go to like Rainbow or Strawberry or Mango, any kind of like fun colored fruit store, and she will get the cheap replicas that she can afford.
Mhm,
She will buy all of the shoes that Payless has to offer,
Mhm.
or whatever DSW has to offer, because that's within her budget and she will spend it. And
Mhm.
so all of her outfits are put together and looking good
Mhm.
for her price range. And I
Yes.
love it. I love it. So good for her. Cause me, I'm all outside of my price range. So she has a nice closet. I like that. The only thing I didn't like is that they were like plastic hangers. And I was like, girl, you could do better. Get you some velvet. She's packing. Her thing is on the bed, which is very annoying to me. And then she talks to him and she's like, hey, the lawyer was talking about a post-nup, something that's going to really help us, with our finances, post-marriage. And he goes into some kind of like, if you're going to put that energy out there and say that we're going to break up, then I don't even want to do this. And so she backpedals because she's lame and she doesn't want to force this prison man who's been in there for 10 years to sign a post-nup. And she's like, I'm just saying that that's what the lawyer was talking about. I'm not saying that we're going to do it. And the truth is, girl, you should do it. Don't let somebody trick you into not doing any kind of pre or post nup because they believe that you believe the marriage is not going to work. No, people fuck up. Things happen.
Yeah,
finances are finances and money is money. And the truth is like, no, I made this money. And so if we break up, you don't get half of it. My children get half of it. And then you can get a stipend, maybe. Like, it is just crazy to me how people are this idea that prenups mean that the relationship isn't going to work is so stupid.
I agree with you. It was interesting that she didn't phrase the conversation as like, hey, boo, you know how I told you could like be on the board of my like accounting/tax firm? Well, it turns out that's illegal.
Mhm.
And I would like lose my whole like license. And so that's why you can't have my business.
Mhm.
And because you can't, because of that, we have to do some things now contractually to make sure that that's like separate.
Yeah.
I would have phrased it like that because what can he say? Like, no, I can't. No, he can't. First of all, he's done. No, he's ignorant. Knows no way this person, unless you can tell me this person was an accountant before he got in jail and actually has financial knowledge in this realm, and for some reason just didn't know that he can't do it outside or thought that the advisor was going to be enough. Like, tell me that. Tell me that his idea was the advisor thing, and so that was his way of getting around it, and then have an actual kind of like financially literate, business literate conversation between two people that makes me feel like he deserves 1 ounce of whatever you built. But that did not happen.
Not at all.
Not
at all.
Scary. So come on.
Yeah, I don't have any money. I have a little tucked away, and I would get a prenup if we got married. Absolutely. You can't have shit, especially if he has less than me. Absolutely, prenup.
What if he has more?
If he has more than me,
yes,
then we're going to negotiate the prenup.
But
I would sign it.
Okay, but what if he has more than you and it's like, I don't care. Like, I will never get divorced. I just want to marry you.
Okay.
Okay, so it's like I don't know, for some reason if you'd be like, you know what, then I still need a prenup or something. Like if you were to be like some moral high horse, I just wanted to test you on that. And let me tell you right now, you passed.
Thanks. Thanks.
You passed. You passed the Chris Farah. No, I'm just kidding. I love you. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I definitely would not if he didn't want to. But if somebody said I need to get you a prenup, I'd be like, great, let me see that. How much do you owe? Okay, if you cheat on me, how much do I get? If you don't help me out around the house and you don't help me with the kids, okay, like we have to break everything down. If we're going to do sign stuff, tell me how much of an involved parent you're planning on being. And if you're like, the truth is that I just want to go to work and I want to come home, then I'm going to be like, okay, nanny, then I require a nanny in place of you. It's so funny because I can always tell the men that I work with, whether or not they're married and what kind of husband they are, based on whether or not, if they see me doing something, if they offer to help.
Wow.
I mean, fully. Like this is one guy at my job. Anytime he sees me like doing anything, he's like, "Oh, can I help?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And he's like, "Where do you want me to put this?" I'm like, "Oh, great, over here." He's like, "What are you doing?" Blah 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 blah. And I'm like, "Oh, okay, I'm doing this." And he comes with the ideas. Then I have another person who'll just stand there and watch me while I do it, and it'll take like him 5 minutes to be like, can I help you?" So it's funny.
Wouldn't it be really cute, like tradition that if you respected someone's marriage because because the marriage made them better and because the other person like developed the other person or because whatever ways like wouldn't it be cute if like people gave people anniversary gifts if you liked their marriage or you felt like their marriage was healthy and like beneficial? Like I feel like that wife of that person you're talking about is a good person, is a good wife.
No. Yeah. They're both great.
So like if their anniversary is coming, I'd be like, you know what? Here's a candle.
Here's a candle. Yeah, you're right. I think that would be great. I think that we should judge our friends' marriages and then give them prizes based on said marriages.
And here's a commercial.
What a great commercial, Chris, and we're back.
And we're back. Okay, do you want to move on?
Absolutely.
Okay, babe. Let's go to Rebecca, who like really took over this episode of Jake. Okay. Jake, again, Jake is also someone who's been in prison for so long that like Jake is literally, again, a toddler in that picture. That is like, I'll be honest. Okay, you guys, please. You know how like, have you ever had
Savannah?
Oh no.
Rebecca is Renika. It auto-corrected to Rebecca instead of Renika. So if you want to do Savannah and Jake, scroll down to where it says Savannah.
No, can we just pretend that the commercial break? Can you come back from commercial break and go into whoever you want?
Oh, you said Rebecca. So
I know. So now you do it.
Oh.
So you can cut that we can cut the whole thing out because I fucked up.
All right.
It literally is a minute.
Hello, welcome back. All right, so we're going to come back and we're going to talk about Savannah and Jake, which is the first couple in this picture here that you're seeing. Savannah here with this interesting red color in her hair. What a choice. Do you think that the person at the shop she went to was like, yeah, girl, red, but like not red, like not strawberry, but also not red?
I think that anyone who comes in contact with her tries to get out of the situation as fast as possible. And so I think that if you're a hair color person, you're like, whatever you want. Is he like it? Okay, good. Whatever you think. Oh yeah, I love it. And just out the door. And you're just like, wow. I think that's how I feel. Yeah, like I just want to talk about Jake's mugshot for a second. Because
Mugsec? What's a mugsec?
Okay. You're right. It's a sack of a mug. It's a sack that's at the bottom of your mug. You know, like when you like put too much sugar in, it's just like that weird thing that happens at the bottom when like the drink is done drinking. Anyway, Jake has a mugshot, and it's obviously, you know, young. It's a young Jake because he's been there for a long time in this entire storyline. Is he's supposed to be there for a long time? That's Jake. But one thing about his picture is that it specifically looks like. Have you had friends that have babies that like have, you know, dents in their head and therefore they have to like get that little like baby helmet for a long time?
Never have I ever.
There's babies that need to get baby helmets to make their heads rounder because they've gotten soft spots from like either laying in some way or their head is shaped differently or somewhere. And so what they do is get that baby helmet and then they take different pictures to like see if their head gets rounder and less flat. And that's exactly the kind of picture that Jake looks like in his mugshot. Anyway, Savannah is what a bananas woman. And she like, you know, toggles or tinkers in between like a very cringeworthy, not like, you know, girl that like doesn't quite know what, you know, how she comes off, and also mildly, I guess, triggering to me in some way for being, you know, I don't know.
You see
obnoxious.
Something in her
yes.
that you think of yourself?
There's a part of her that makes me feel like if I was to remain unchecked, that's the kind of delusional person I would be. She's so crazy and so out of touch. And I'm not, but like, she scares me in some way. And I'm like, oh my God, would I be like that? Like, would I have been like that if I was like 14 and never taught a lesson, like she seems to be in a different reality. Like she doesn't get social cues and stuff like that. Like I don't get her at all. It's so funny to me when he has to tell her like, that's a little invasive, but let's go back. We're going to go see her visit a lawyer, honey. And like, this is a tried and true now love during lockup and 90 Day Fiance scene.
Yeah.
How many scenes do we have with lawyers looking over visas? How many scenes with lawyers do we look over prenups or lawyers look over, people's things? It's like the lawyer scene is always the same, which is it's a person that they hire who wants to be on TV. And so that person's going to have somewhat of a personality or devoid of a personality, but there's something like it's, which I guess is something neither here nor there, but it's interesting. And then the other thing about it is they usually have to give a sound opinion. They have to be the straight man.
Yes. And then they're like, basically, here's what I'm telling you. You're dumb. But if you want me to help you not look so dumb, here's the amount of money you have to give me in order to assist with that. You dummy. That's exactly what happens to me every time they go to the lawyer. And then they start talking nonsense. And the lawyer's like, dummy? No, dummy. Okay, dummy. It's like the lawyer who talked to Letitia last episode. And now we have Savannah in front of this lawyer. And Savannah's like, so no, but the truth is though that Jake got like 35 years in prison or something for being 19 years old. That is a lot of time. And listen, this is the first time where I'm like, wow. They treated him like a black man.
Did he kill someone?
He didn't. They treated him like a black man though. He did like robbery or something. He did I know. And then there was like, I think thought of doing, someone said, we're going to kill you. I think that's what happened. They don't think anyone actually died, or if so, I don't know if he did anything. But like, yeah, they threw the book at him. And so she's trying to figure out how he can like get out early for good behavior. And every time it goes in front of an appeal court, they like strike it down or whatever, which sucks. I was like, oh, this feels terrible. But also Savannah's like, how come you wanted to marry those other people and you don't want to marry me? My thought is because he was dumb back then and now he's not dumb. Like, I think that's what it is. Like, he's like, listen, I've gone through therapy. I'm an adult now. I understand after 2 failed like fiancés that I'm not gonna tell you I'm gonna marry you. Like, stop being crazy. You're doing too much. And she's like, well, I need you to prove it to me. How?
Oh, I mean, Savannah's middle name is too much. Savannah's entire personality is the most. I mean, that's her family symbol is, like a cornucopia of like Thanksgiving feasts, like everything is, she should live in Dubai. She is so much, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't, like, was she conceived in Vegas? Like, I cannot tell you
on the strip. She was conceived on the strip, in a little alley. So yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right. Something is wrong with her. And like even the whole crazy ass story about his mother going to talking to bandmates and asking them questions, being a groupie is like wild. And I mean, this whole thing is fake. It's a fake. She's a liar. She's
a liar.
Yeah, no. Didn't I tell you she's the one who like she didn't get with him for an acting role. She and him have been together forever and they've been on other podcasts.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So anything that happens in this episode, in her situation I have a hard time taking it seriously. I want to find it for you. See if I can find it.
Yeah, like she just is cringy. I don't know how to say that. She just like if everything is real, then yeah, she just basically uses this lawyer, whatever meeting to call Jake and be like, hey, guess what? He told me the following things. Everything I want to have happen. Marry me and get your family on board to liking me. That's what he said his legal opinion is. His legal opinion is to marry me and make your family like me. Yeah. No, that's what it said. No, it's weird, but that's what it is.
That's the only one that's going to help you. Yeah, is to marry me because it's going to show that you're settled down and like a great guy because I'm so great.
I talked to the governor and the governor said, No, yeah, Gov and I are best friends. She's like, the
Mhm.
only way is that like she wants to see like an invitation to our wedding in her mailbox, and we're going to be registered at Williams and Sonoma and Pottery Barn because you would want both. One's for kitchens and one's for kids and shit.
Yay.
I love you. Anyway, yeah, like she's, her driving, her saying like, I want to go visit your family, and him being like, well, don't do it. That's crazy. You fucking crazy batshit crazy bitch. Like is LOL. Like, I mean, listen, if she is just an actress and all of this is a character, and she's like, Chris, I got you. This is me being charactery and like, really cringy. I'd be like, you know what? All right, Savannah. You're surely getting me, honey. Your objective is to make me be like, oh no, this Ren Fair nerd is like too much. Then you know what? You're getting it.
Oh no, this Ren Fair nerd. That's so great. Me too. Okay. Anything else about Savannah?
No.
Let's move on to Renika, who is the third one in, and Asante, who is on the down low. Which is like such an Atlanta stereotype. Did you know that?
Oh yeah, of course I know that. And she's driving right into the heart of it. Literally, yes. she's like into the eye of the storm.
Yeah.
She goes to visit her sister, of course, the same sister that she just like kicked out of the show when the sister was asking some questions. I just want to talk about the sister. I love the sister's house. Shakola. She walks, by the way, I don't like, in my mind, I was like, wait, she just walked in this house. Is it open? I mean, like, is the door open, or is there I'm like, don't tell us the passcode or if you have a key, but at least show us that you're not just like walking in, because she really walks in beautiful, like entryway, white banister, like hardwood floors, up like a thick staircase. I just love the style of it, and then her sister's just like in a bed, like no one let her in. So like exactly what happened there. I just want to, what?
She might have just left the door open.
What?
She might have left her front door open.
No.
Yeah.
Never in my life. In California. Never in my life ever. I can't imagine, unless I was just like not near around anyone, that I would just feel comfortable doing that. That's crazy to me. Anyway, go on.
Yeah, no, happens. It happens. So yeah, she makes amends with her sister Shakola, and they hug it out like nothing ever happened. Like she didn't kick her out of a party and like threw water on her. And then we see the daughters, and her 13-year-old is developed, and that sucks to be 13 and have them big ass titties. God, the annoying men who must just your innocence is taken away from you so early once you get tatas. Did you ever get flirted on by older men?
I'm trying to think. No, I was not really. I feel like no, I just was like, nope, that wasn't my life. But yeah, this scene, their story, even though she's surrounded by fun people, there is this pervasive sadness over actually what their storyline is, which is just moving her whole beautiful life away from her family and her like bustling eyelash business to go to Atlanta, which, like she uses as Atlanta as being a better place for her kids, but whatever, than Kentucky. And then, but yeah, like then we get the scene of her also being like, hey, so the plan is we're renting an Airbnb, furnished Airbnb for me and my daughters, and he's going to come move in here. And we get the scene of her daughters being like, hey, mom, we don't want him to because we don't know him. And it's like she, A, isn't going to hear it, B, because it's not what she wants, and then also C, like wouldn't have thought about that, and then D, obviously they don't want to live with some random person, and it's not good for them. And so don't ever fucking say you're moving to Atlanta for them if you're going to make such choices, which is obviously not good for them. So It just then everything that I actually like her. Like I like her as a person. Like I like her as a character. Like I don't love her music, but like I was just so charmed by the fact that she had the eyelash business and everyone likes her, and I like the people around her, that like it makes me actually mad and sad, you know?
No, it does. It's always a shock to me when folks think that bringing strangers around their young children is appropriate, and it just isn't. It never is in any way. Like you need to know that person's social security number and everything about them before you even bring them around your children, and then you need to introduce it in a way that makes the kids comfortable, not just moving some stranger into their home. This is not like the 1800s. You just don't do that.
Absolutely. And then especially if like social security number, she hasn't even checked his Instagram recently, because our next scene, which is Bananaramas, is a scene with her very fun friend, Ray, who is going to now take care of the daughters while she goes into and picks up her man. So Ray comes over. Ray is very fun. And again, like, I love everyone in her life, which only makes me kind of care more about her and then pissed about her choices. But Ray is like, what do you know about him and why are you doing this? And they look at his Instagram, and then Ray has to be like, bitch, there are the same biddies liking and giving her their numbers and like hearting all of the Instagrams and recent ones and commenting. And she's like, what? Oh, what? That doesn't make, I'm sorry, I screamed. Sorry. But like, that doesn't ever make sense to me, because it's like, if someone is your man, like, you're not like, I don't know, how do you not know? I mean,
Yep. It's hard to watch her sometimes because I want to like her. You're right. So yeah, the friend is supportive but annoyed. All right, you ready to move on?
Yeah, babe.
Okay.
You're right. It's hard. It's like frustrating. It's hard.
Yes. We've got Jade and Chris, and Jade is the second to last on this picture here. Okay, so Jade is going to a powwow, and the powwow is at the prison. They allow that to happen, and so her sisters are going to go, and they get to Minnesota. It's just never been more relevant in my life from these shows to be in Minnesota.
I know.
Never more relevant in all of my life, Chris. Like, I haven't, like, you think being in California was relevant? Let me tell you, so many shows take place in Iowa, Minnesota, or like Nebraska, and I never paid attention to it until I'm here. Now I'm here and I'm like, oh, my neighbor. And so we found out that his family does not meld with her at all. In fact, they're like rude. She gave that mom a Christmas gift, and that mom gave that Christmas gift back. That's crazy. 5 years.
You know what? Here's the thing. She did set up that story, and that's true. And by the way, didn't you want to know what the Christmas gift was?
Yeah. I was like, is it
What
a
is
candle? Is it a candle? Is it like a sweater? What do you get a mother-in-law? I don't know.
Yeah. What would you give back? Like, if you gave, to me,
Perfume?
what would be unforgivable is something very cheap.
Oh, like what?
Oh, that sounds horrible. And not thoughtful and not sentimental, and something convenient, cheap, and almost offensively not thought about.
The only thing, I mean, listen, the only time I don't like a present is when it's ugly, or when it like is obviously not me. So if she bought her like an ugly handbag with a lot of like gold hardware on it, and it was like dripping, like it was a bucket bag from like 2005, yes, I'd be mad. If she like gave me a serving platter, I mean, I don't know. What could she give me that I would give back? I can't think of anything, unless it was just something so grossly not my style and borderline offensive, because I'm like, you think I dress this way? Ugh, here, take this back. You wear it.
Oh my God, that's so funny.
Yeah. So like, they don't want to see her at the powwow. They showed the mother's picture, but they blurred her face out. And I was just like, I did not expect for them to not like her in the way that they don't. And, she's the quintessential prison wife and, or, partner of somebody where they're like, well, I don't care if your family doesn't like me. I'm not going to do anything for them. And, they can just ignore me. It's like, no, that's not how this works. That's not how this works.
Yeah. And she also has because she has ego, and she's pissed also that they look down on her because, again, title of the show, you're the inmate. My family should look down on you. I should be the one being like, I know that I've been too good for this person, but like, I'm sacrificing that because he's a bit of, but she has to deal with the fact that his mom treats her like she's not good enough for her son, which is hilarious. And, whatever, she only kind of has to care because the fact of the money, which is LOL. However, we're going to obviously find out the reason why. And I think it's a valid reason.
Yeah.
So anyways, we go to this powwow, which again is this thing that happens at his prison, which is that all of the Native American people can kind of like come out and spend the whole day with their family, which I don't know if all the other people can do it too. I don't know if any, it's like, I was like, oh, that's great for them,
Yeah.
like, it's interesting because again, there are different prisons within
Different rules.
different rules, and obviously he doesn't feel like he's in like a hard one or like a maximum security one. So again, she has her sister who like has been pissed the whole time because Chris calls all the time, and she wants to go with Jade to like be there and back that up, but then also now has to also back up her sister against his family. Like she calls herself the Chihuahua of the family. I feel like also she's this little Savannah. She's doing too much to the sister.
Yeah.
Like the sister is like, I'm getting on the show. My sister's going to be a TikTok star, and I'm also going to be a TikTok star sister.
Yeah, she wants to be like Kourtney Kardashian so bad. It's she is ready to be a sister gang on TV. So we get to the powwow and we meet the niece. I guess is the only family member and somebody else who come in and hang out with her. And so they do. And the mother is like through the niece is like, I have been through hell with Chris, up and down, left and right. And he gets married to some white biddy that we don't even know her. We don't even want anything from her. And she gets this like really good Chris. So then the niece asks, do you have a job? Or are you living off of my Uncle Chris? And Jade's like, he prefers if I don't work. So yeah. And then she's like, well, was there a prenup? No. And then they were like, well, listen, your TikTok is wild.
Yeah.
It feels like you are so happy to have a prison husband and that you're doing it for clout. And so we just couldn't we don't like you.
Your style is trashy washy. Like you're on there, like you're showing off. You're like new fucking money. You're like what? And it really is disgusting. They then do a full cut of her TikTok, which is like, my babe Chris got me these flowers, which is more than your car payments. Anyway, they're like $700. So it's like, it's so funny to me because first of all, I hate people that talk about money. It's like the same thing with this girl that wasn't on the episode. Remember when I made fun of that girl for like talking about her like $4,000 or $8,000 ring?
Yeah.
It's just that, bitch, at all times, there is a spectrum of people in life. And so half the people that watch you are going to be like, that's not that much. Or I have a nicer car than you. I know I do. Or I see her. It's like, I don't know what to tell you. Like when you think that you are the main character of a story, when you think you are better than someone, it's like never really true because there's so many people in the world that have such diversity of lives that it's crazy for you to say anything about it or whatever. And so anyway, yeah, they're like, you are trashy, washy. You're like on here bragging about the money that Chris gets you. Like you just make us look bad. You make us look really, really bad. And it's like, then she says, I just like don't care what people do with their lives. Like I don't understand why people care about my life. And it's like, you're married to their son and he gets money because of like their culture and the like collaborative business of their people.
Can you imagine a scenario in which your people are living their lives happily, minding their own business, and then these like dirty people from like whatever on a boat get off and then come and like literally decimate and kill your community to skip to 500 years later, they're now actually reaping some benefits from the community, from their culture. And this fool in prison happens to get, I guess what they said is $12,000 a month, which I'm just like, that is insane. And then what does he do? Just give it back to the pale faces. He marries a pale face, doesn't even talk to his family about it. And he just gives his restitution, his owed money for his family who's had to just do and go through the just like stress of being a Native American. And he just gives it back to her. And here she is on TikTok, just tickety talking away, talking about my husband, Chris. And they're just like, it's our uncle, our son, our whatever, Chris. And he shouldn't be giving you anything.
Yeah. Literally, they look at her, they're like, smallpox. You're walking smallpox. you are horrible. And also at the same time, I kind of want them to be a little mad at Chris. I also kind of want them, maybe they are, maybe like Chris has literally disappointed us left and right. So what is it now? But the conversation is, bitch, you cannot just get married to some biddy who like thinks that she sacrificed so much while she's been just spending money 5 years and not having to deal with you at all. Like she thinks that she's a saint because she's like, who would just be married for 5 years? And it's like, you don't even visit him. You are just married on paper, shooting your TikToks, which, by the way, side note is, again, if she was smart, when that cousin was like, what do you want to do as your job? I would have been like, bitch, have you seen my TikTok? Anyway, but she's not smart enough to even do that. Jade is dumb, and her sister even dumber. So, but at the same time, I do think that this is going to give them some sort of like boost in their followers. But that's only because there are dumb people in this world.
Like me. I'm going to see how many followers she has right now.
But don't follow her.
I'm not.
Okay.
Wow.
So yeah, basically, the cousin giving it to them that way, and the cousin also like really eloquently and beautifully, not eloquently, it's a horrible statement, but the sister in a kind and polite way tells in a confessional why the family hates Jade in a way that isn't even mean. Like, she doesn't have to be bitchy about it. She's just like open and just genuine about it, So anyway, so it made the cousin made her look horrible, and the sister look horrible.
Yeah. Wow. She's got 311,000. Wait, 311,000. 311.3.
It's one more thing is like, did you notice that she came to this powwow and like the first thing she said is like, I need to get it like something to drink. And I wanted to be like, did you bring anything? Did you bring like a little fruit salad for this? I just want to know, like, did you bring like some chips?
Salad. Some chips.
I mean, this seems like pretzels? A powwow that's, yeah.
Did you bring any pretzels?
This is a potluck powwow. It feels that way. So if you're going to come and ask for a drink, and also, I don't know, the family's genuine validation of your like marriage, I don't know. Yeah. Come bearing gifts.
Yes.
And that's the kind of gifts that people want to just give back because they're so trashy.
Wow, they gave that gift back. I don't even think it was because it was trashy. It was probably expensive and they didn't want that blood money.
I disagree. Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. I feel like she probably sent them something expensive and they were pissed because they were like, why are you spending my son's money? And then you bought me an expensive gift that I don't even need because you don't know me. So send it back.
I 100% wish it would make me have more faith, and it would be impressive if she bought her something expensive. I just cannot look at her and every choice she makes and be like, she has discernment in such a way to, I am mad that they didn't tell us. Okay. Anyone else, or should we move on?
I think that's it. There was no Brittany and Karak. There wasn't. Yeah, and we got everybody else.
Yeah, we certainly did.
Whew, we did it. All right, you guys. Thank you so much for listening to us, dribble and ramble on about this show. We hope that you...
Sorry, what was that? Did you see the super teaser for the next... do you see the super teaser?
No.
Oh, no. So basically there is a super teaser. So just having said that, I'm excited about it.
Do you want to tell us about it?
No.
Oh, okay. So if you want to join us on patreon.com/DocuSweeties, it's $10 a month. You can do so by, giving your girls a little tip, supporting your girls. If you like the content that we do here, you get exclusive content like a live every first Monday of the month. You get the episode 24 hours before anybody else does in this video format. And you get the video format, like to see our amazing faces all the time. So if you can't though, but you still want to support us in another way, Chris will tell you how to do that.
You can do so by opening up your social medias and typing in the @ and then DocuSweeties, like on Instagram @DocuSweeties, or TikTok, like where that bitch is making so much money @DocuSweeties, or on the new X / what was called Twitter @DocuSweeties1. And now we have Facebook.
Yeah, so join our Facebook group. All right, you guys, we'll talk to you later. Bye.
Bye.